Hey YouTube, welcome back to the Insanity Carnival. Today we're going to be replacing some rear brake shoes on the CRF 230. Let's get it going. In order to take the tire off, we got to undo the brake first. First step, undo this screw, take off this assembly. Next step is to take off the rear wheel. In this case, it's 17 and 24 mil. Loosen it off, slide it forward, roll it back, that'll pop the chain off. Next is to get the axle out. They're all different. Sometimes they stick. You can use a hammer. We gotta change the brakes, put a new tire on. Be sure to grease these before you put them back in. Go. Spacer on the one side, so you don't lose that. Put all your pieces together. Okay, so when you pull this off, you can see there's the drum. A lot of brake dust in there. And here's the assembly. Pretty dirty in there, needs definitely a good cleaning. Brake pads seem to have some life on them, but they're a little sketchy at the ends there, they look old. So we're gonna replace them and get them going. Let's do that next. With these brakes, it's really important that you lubricate this pivot point. When the brakes start to wear down and the springs get softer, you can see that it gets stuck. It's really important to keep this area greased, especially if you're going through lots of mud and water. But make sure you don't get it on the brake pad surface. So to take apart these, the first things you got to do is the spring. What I use, I just grab a piece of wire, make a hook on the one end, pull it under, and pull them out. It seems to be the easiest way for me to do this. So once those are off, brake shoes just come out. They're pretty toast. Bring them off to the side. Next thing we're going to want to do here is clean this up. It looks disgusting in here. So let's get some brake cleaner on that and wipe it down. Okay, we got it cleaned up. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. We're going to replace with EBC brake shoes. Most new kits come with the shoes. They also come with the springs, so that's important. Get some additional tension in there because they kind of wear out after time. I like to check them, make sure they look similar to the other ones. Pretty darn close. Let's install them and see how it works. Okay, we're ready to install the new brake shoes. Like I said, the key is you got to grease those two pivot components. So I'll just get some out of my grease gun here. Pump it. Put a little on the cloth. You want to get the front here, and there, that side, and the ends. Grease that up nice. And the same with this pivot point here. A fair amount on there. You can be liberal if it's thick. It's thin, be a little more careful, it'll get everywhere else. So now that we got that in, next step, we put the brake shoes in, line them up. The circular part goes against the pivot point there, and that's kind of how it looks. So in order to put on the springs, we're going to do the same thing we did, but in sort of a reverse order. I don't know if you can see that. You got to hook it underneath here, and then once you have it hooked underneath, you're going to pull it into that hole. Same deal. You can either use needle nose pliers or your little hook thing here. I find the wire hook is the easiest for me, but whatever works. Spin it around, connect the spring, grab the hook, same deal, put it in, move it, see it's not sticking anymore, pull it all the way and it's snapping back. It's exactly what we want. Spray this down with a little bit of brake cleaner to make sure that it's okay, and then once that's done, you can reassemble. Before you reinstall the brake shoes, you need to clean out the brake drum. You get all kinds of grossness in there. So you need brake cleaner. Thank you. Spray it in. Let's see the nastiness in there. Good spray.
That seems gross.
Better now. Cleaning it out. Cleaning it. Especially dirt biking. All kinds of stuff gets stuck in drum brakes. Drum brakes are not ideal for off-road, especially once you get in the mud and the wetness. But luckily on this bike, they're only on the rear, and that helps.
That's the doing that.
Now we're ready to reinstall the brakes. Before you put it back on the bike, it's always good. Check fitment. Make sure it spins, fits in. Quiet with it. You can see the shape. We're in good shape. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to grease up that axle, put the rear tire back on, and reconnect the brake. Okay, we said first thing we got to do is clean off this axle. Hit it with some brake clean first. Close the nozzle off. Up. Not being smart. Now I gotta do this one. Wipe off all the old grime. Everything that was on here wasn't lubricated at all. So now that we've cleaned it up, same deal. A little bit of grease. That's that shaft right. Let's get it back on the bike. Before I put the tire back on, I want to show you this piece here. With the brake, you got to make sure that that lines up. It slides in there, holds nice and tight, and that's what we got to make sure when we install this. Thanks guys, that's pretty much it. That's how you replace rear drum brakes on a dirt bike. Pretty much the same on all dirt bikes or pretty much drum brakes in general. Thanks for stopping into the Insanity Carnival. If you liked the video, hit like, subscribe. Any questions, post them in the comments below. Take care.